What if writing software was less about typing out every single line of code and more about directing a team of super smart AI assistants? Well, that's the wild promise of a brand new tool called Google Antigravity. And today, we're going to break down how this thing could literally change the way we build, well, everything.
All right, so here's the game plan for this explainer. We're going to start with the problems developers are facing right now, then get into this groundbreaking new agentic idea that's meant to solve them. After that, we'll take a deep dive inside Google Antigravity itself, check out its core features, the crazy powerful AI behind it, and then talk about what this all really means for the future of coding.
So first things first, why does a tool like Antigravity even need to exist? Well, to get that, we have to look at the big headaches that are slowing down developers every single day.
Oh yeah. For a lot of developers, the answer is a massive yes. I mean, think about it like this. Imagine you're trying to cook a really fancy meal, but every 5 seconds, someone makes you run to a completely different kitchen with a totally different set of pots and pans. That's kind of what modern coding feels like. You are constantly bouncing between your code editor, the terminal, your web browser, stacks of documentation, and all that context switching. It's just a killer for focus and productivity.
Now, AI tools have tried to help with these so-called co-pilots. And don't get me wrong, they're great. They can suggest the next line of code, and that's cool. But there's still just a passenger in the car. You're the one driving. You have to steer, hit the brakes, and figure out where to go. The real leap forward happens when we go from a passive assistant to an active partner, an autonomous agent that can actually grab the wheel and handle big chunks of the trip all by itself.
So what is this big idea that lets us make that jump from a backseat driving co-pilot to an active agent? It's this whole new philosophy called the agentic paradigm.
And the core of that is something called an agentic development platform. The best way to think about it is instead of asking an AI to, write me a function that sorts this list, you can now just say, build me a feature that lets users sort their friends by a last name. And the agent, it figures out all the steps, the planning, the coding, the testing, and then it shows you the final result. It does the whole job.
And this isn't just some abstract idea. The first major tool built from the ground up around this concept is Google Antigravity. It's designed to be an agent-first platform, right from the start.
So Antigravity literally just dropped on November 18th, 2025. It launched as the killer app for the unbelievably powerful Gemini 3 AI model. And here's the best part. You can go try it right now. It's in a free public preview for Mac, Windows, and Linux.
When you open up Antigravity, you'll see it's split into two really powerful views. On one side, you've got the editor view. It's a fantastic, top-of-the-line coding environment for when you want to get your hands dirty. But the real mind-blower is the manager surface. This is like your mission control. It's a dashboard where you can launch and watch over multiple AI agents, all working on different tasks at the same time.
And this new setup totally flips the developer workflow on its head. You don't start by opening a file and typing. Nope. You start by defining a big picture objective. From there, the AI agent just takes over, and you just watch its progress. Just imagine dispatching 5 different agents to fix 5 different bugs simultaneously. That's the kind of insane productivity boost we're talking about here. Okay, this all sounds amazing. Maybe a little too amazing. Which brings us to a really, really important question. If you're not writing every line of code yourself, how in the world can you trust that the agent actually did the job right?
I mean, even Google's own documentation says it plain and simple. Delegating work to an agent requires trust.
And the old way of building that trust, forcing yourself to read through thousands of lines of code and terminal commands, it just doesn't work at this scale. It's boring, it's slow, and it pretty much defeats the whole point of delegating in the first place.
So, Antigravity has this really clever solution called artifacts. The big idea is to stop looking at a raw log of the AI's process and instead focus on the tangible results of its work. So instead of a fire hose of text, the agent gives you a clean task list, a simple summary of code changes, and even before and after screenshots or screen recordings of it testing the feature.
And get this, the system is totally interactive. If you see a screenshot and think, that button should really be green, you can just leave a comment right there on the artifact. It's exactly like commenting on a Google Doc. But here's the magic. The AI agent sees your comment, understands it, and then automatically goes and makes the change. It's wild.
So what's the secret sauce? What gives these agents the brainpower to pull off these kinds of complex, multi-step jobs? Let's pop the hood and look at the engine inside.
At its core, Antigravity runs on Gemini 3 Pro, which is Google's most powerful AI model ever. To give you an idea of what that means, It hit a record-breaking ELO score of 1501 on a major industry leaderboard. Now, an ELO score comes from the world of chess, and it's basically a way to measure skill. A higher score means a smarter player, or in this case, a more capable model. And a score of 1501 puts Gemini 3 Pro right at the top of the pack for its reasoning abilities.
But here's where Google made a really smart move. While Gemini 3 Pro is the default, Antigravity is built to be an open platform. That means developers can swap it out and plug in other top models, like the ones from Anthropic and OpenAI. That kind of flexibility is a huge deal, and it's key to getting the whole developer community on board.
So when you put all this together, what does it really add up to? Well, it's way more than just a faster way to write code. What we're seeing here is a fundamental reshaping of what it even means to be a developer.
I think the best way to describe this change comes from one developer who said that with Antigravity, you have been elevated to a manager of agents. Your main job isn't the nitty-gritty implementation anymore. It's the high-level architecture. You're the one with the vision, and now you have this whole team of AI agents ready to make it happen.
Which leaves us with a pretty incredible question for the future. When AI agents can handle the how, what amazing world-changing things will human developers finally be free to build? And that is the exciting new chapter that tools like Antigravity are just starting to write.